Hi there, I'm Max Landsberg with some tips on how you can achieve a state of flow in the way that you live your life. And that's to find greater joy, fulfillment, and resilience. These tips are based on my latest book called The Power of the Tao. First, I'll talk about the so-called flow state and then how the ancient tradition of Taoism can help us attain the flow state. And finally, I'll introduce 7 specific principles and habits that can help us achieve this flow state and then stay in it long term. So the flow state, you've probably heard of this state and perhaps you have experienced it in sport or at work or just while doing the chores at home. The flow state is a mental and a physical state where you are like an athlete who is in the zone or on top of your game. You feel completely absorbed in whatever you're doing. Things feel effortless and working automatically. Your activities take no energy from you, and in fact, they may give energy to you, and you feel deep enjoyment. You barely probably notice the passage of time. You feel calm, yet almost ecstatic. This is the state of flow, where you're resourceful, creative, and resilient. In this flow state, research does show that we become 200% more creative, 400% more motivated, 5 times more able to learn, and 5 times more productive as well. In the past, most of the research into flow has focused on being in the zone in very specific tasks and situations, like the skier swishing effortlessly down a rocky mountain face, or the computer coder whose fingertips miraculously transform ideas into computer programs, or the jazz player who wows people with improvisations. These are all examples of flow in the task, but for several decades, I've been exploring how we can live in this wonderful state of flow pretty much all the time, not just for a few minutes or hours. And after much research, I have found that the ancient Chinese tradition of Taoism offers the best way to get there. Taoism is a mix of practices and philosophy that has survived for 3,000 years. The word Tao means the way or the natural order of things. And Taoism emphasizes living in a way that cooperates with the Tao rather than fights against it. One of the key concepts in Taoism is called Wu Wei, and this can be translated as non-action or effortless action. Wu Wei is often described as being in harmony with the natural flow of things. But Wu Wei is not just a passive go with the flow and float down the river, it's more active, working with the Tao. You use a high degree of insight to see the river's currents, the swirls and the eddies that can help you. And you certainly avoid the wasted effort of trying to push that river uphill. So how do these two concepts of flow and Taoism relate? Well, when you're in a state of flow, you're essentially practicing Wu Wei. You are not forcing things. You're operating spontaneously and in accord with the rest of your ecosystem. You're not thinking or scheming about what you're doing, you're just doing it. In fact, some researchers have suggested that the flow state is actually a modern manifestation of Wu Wei. Both states involve being completely present in the moment, letting go of your ego, and allowing yourself to engage with the natural flow of things as you simply focus on the task at hand. The concept of Wu Wei has been around for thousands of years and has been used by people all over the world to achieve greater success and happiness in their lives. Mindfulness meditation and similar techniques can help nudge you into brief periods of flow and Wu Wei. This can bring you less stress and more success. But to really live in flow for much longer periods requires some deeper tweaks to the habitual way that we see the world. I'll be exploring the 7 most important principles in the next videos, starting with Yin Yang. Thank you, and may the Tao be with you, and may you be with the Tao.